What is going on, guys? This is Adult Gaming with my review of Naruto chapter 681. And this chapter, it was actually, like somewhat surprising. I will say that I would never expect the Black Zetsu to play such a major role, especially in this chapter, because he finally, tells us so much about so many questions that I'm pretty sure a lot of people have, for a very long time. But we see that when the chapter starts off, we see that Sasuke's attack against Kaguya, it did not work, and we now see that his Susanoo, it is now crumbling to pieces, and we see that Sasuke is on like this one-way trip to the lava right now, and of course we have Naruto trying to save him, but it seems like he won't make it in time. But luckily Naruto was in Sasuke's range, that he was able to teleport to him, and that right there, it's how Sasuke saved his hide. And so now I am wondering, like, why did we get like these two little panels of the other Naruto saving, like Obito, because Obito's dead obviously. So I do wonder, what was the point of us seeing that when we could just focus on, what was like really important. But now we have Naruto. He actually made one of his black Beedrill balls, like into a flat surface, so that Sasuke here could like use it for a platform. But now we have Kaguya, who kind of like opens up like this other dimension which teleports her behind Naruto and Sasuke. And at first they don't realize that, but when they finally do, we have them turn around, and when they finally see her, we have them. We have her with her hand on their faces, and because she's touching them, we see her crying right now, and we see that right now she's thinking of her two sons, and we actually see her other son pretty well, and he obviously has the Byakugan in his eyes, so that would only means one thing, that he was definitely the ancestor for the Hyuga clan. And I do wonder why in the world is he not getting a much bigger spotlight, because you would think he would. But we have the Black Zetsu coming out of Kaguya right now, and it's attaching itself to Naruto and Sasuke. And so right now we have the Black Zetsu talking to them, saying that when Kaguya looks at them, she is obviously reminded of her two sons, and we all know that it was her sons that sealed her away. Now I do believe that we already knew that before, so I don't believe that right there, was just revealed. But we have Sasuke. He asked the Black Zetsu, like who is Black Zetsu, because obviously we don't know his real name. We should know that he called Black Zetsu. Zetsu might be his real name. We probably won't know, but apparently he is Kaguya's child. She had 3 children, but Black Zetsu was not born till like she was sealed. But Sasuke was saying that his present mood has changed, and I do wonder, how exactly did it. But apparently this Black Zetsu, it had been around, from the beginning, and apparently he made the story of the ninja, and apparently, this story, it was all created in order to revive Kaguya. So obviously, this over here did kind of work out, because we have Kaguya revived right now. And so right now, Black Zetsu is figuring out that they must have met Hakuromo, because right now they know Kaguya's name, when they probably shouldn't even know that if they never met the sage of the sixth path. And so right now we actually learn, or we actually see that every reincarnation of Indra and Asura, they had never worked so well, like Naruto and Sasuke did, because they are rivals. But obviously, because Naruto, kind of wants to change, like the world or the history, he is not gonna, follow the line. He's gonna like take turns and change everything. But obviously, Naruto and Sasuke are the only one that can seal Kaguya, just like her sons did in the past. And this technique right here, it changed the Ten Tails into the core of the Shibaku Tensei, and that right there is when the Ten Tails itself, it had became the moon. And so right now, just when Kaguya and the Ten Tails were going to be sealed away, that is when the Black Zetsu was actually born. And that right there, is pretty shocking, and maybe that right there would explain why it looks like that, because it is possible that because its birth was so rushed, it did not have time to be a fully developed person, just like Haguromo and his brother. But now we have Black Zetsu kind of going, into the flashback here, and he actually reveals that the Ten-Tail, it is true that it is true that it was made up of not just the sacred tree, but it was also made of the body of Kaguya. So maybe because the Ten-Tail is maybe because Kaguya was part of the Ten-Tail, she might not be the Death Reaper, but that right there, you know, might be something else. But overall, I still want to stick with the Death Reaper seal. You know, like the Reaper itself. I still want to believe that everything is Kaguya, because there are just way too many similarities not for it to be. But obviously, right now, Kaguya actually wanted to take the chakra back to take it from her two children, and that right there goes to show you, you know, like how kind of dark and evil she was, that, you know, that she would go that far. But now we see that when Hagurama had raised their children, and we have Indra who had lost, you know, to his brother. We have the Black Zetsu, you know, like from the shadows. He was kind of like manipulating him, and he made this guy, you know, create the Uchiha, and even this stone tablet that was so important to them. The Black Zetsu here actually wrote that, and that right there is crazy. But over the years, we have all these, you know, incarnations of Indra and Asura, you know, the Uchiha and Senju. You know, after all the years of them fighting each other, the Black Zetsu was like waiting for one that can actually, you know, awaken the Rinnegan, because we all know that when these two come together, that it is possible. And sadly, not one of them could do that till Madara came, because apparently the Black Zetsu itself, he believed that Madara would be the one to do that, and you know, he was definitely right about that. And for some reason, I really don't remember this panel of like Madara biting into Hashirama's arm, and, you know, like biting off a piece of the flesh. For some reason, I don't remember that, but apparently it happened. And it seems that that Black Zetsu, you know, even watching that fight, and of course he like records everything. But now he was the one that actually, you know, stored away Madara's body. And we see that with the Mangekyo Sharingan, you can actually, you know, activate the jutsu, you know, like later in time. And it seems that Madara actually sacrificed an eye and used Izanagi to bring himself back to life. So apparently, you know, Madara knew that one day he would die. So I'm guessing he would cast that to like bring himself back to life. But he did leave a shadow clone, you know, behind as a fake. But I'm not surprised that, you know, nobody ever figured that out. But now we see that flesh that he bit off from Hashirama, he actually, you know, threw that up, and he actually, you know, like put it into his own wounds. And of course, that right there like allowed him to awaken, you know, the Rinnegan. And of course, that right there also, you know, allowed him to summon the Geromazo. And we also learned that, or we do that already, but these White Zetsu, they were of course the people that were left in the Infinite Tsukuyomi for too long. They were not failed clones of Hashirama, like Madara, you know, was like led to believe. So obviously, you know, this Black Zetsu, he definitely, you know, like changed a lot of things, and he also, you know, like he also, you know, tricked a lot of people, and he also helped Kabuto find Madara's old corpse. And not only that, but he also, you know, helped Obito, or convinced Obito to use Kabuto, you know, in the war. And so right now, everything that the Black Zetsu, you know, like everything that the Black Zetsu had planned, it was all to bring back Kaguya. And for some reason, I find it, you know, really hard to believe. Like, there is just no way that he could plan all of this out, but somehow it all came together, and that were there, you know, was like able to bring back Kaguya. And then we get like this one panel of, or the one page I should say, of like her finally talking, and she has her Byakugan activated, and she was saying that, you know, that she hates her own children, and Hagurama and Hamura, they belong to her. And I'm hoping that I can find, you know, a color page of the panel right here, because I would love to freaking use it. But now we have the Black Zetsu, you know, finally returning to Kaguya, because he was saying that his role is now over, and he'll return to his mother. But we have Naruto, who finally had enough, and he finally, you know, rid himself of the Black Zetsu that were covering him, and he also freed Sasuke. But now they definitely need an opening, you know, so that they can seal her. And now Naruto, you know, Naruto planning on using, you know, some jutsu, but we have no idea what it is. But like I said, this chapter, it was surprising in a sense, and overall I did enjoy it. So I'll probably give maybe probably give it an 8 out of 10. But I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this as well. But as always, please do not forget to like the video and subscribe, because that really helps me out. And you guys take it easy. I will see you all next time.